Thanks to the support as a channel member, John Howell. Yeah, I'm going to tell him about it now. Yes. Yes, I know. It's important because it's for charity. Yeah. I'll speak to you again tomorrow. I have a message to pass on. Boys and girls, as Mrs Wearmouth is so keen for me to communicate, I'm doing a charity stream tonight over on Twitch, 7 p.m, twitch.tv/lollujo. It's a charity stream supporting War Child, and specifically their Wear It for War Child campaign that you might have seen, connected to Football Manager and TikTok and all sorts of social media stuff. And what's more, as part of the charity stream, I am going to be giving away one of these. This is the limited edition Football Manager FC away kit in association with War Child and TikTok. There's only been 500 of these made, limited edition in this box. It's this one you'll actually win if you win the giveaway, which has a nice little welcome to the club insert in the box. And this is the shirt. Like I say, only 500 of these in existence. I actually already bought one for myself, which will be coming soon. Some of you might have already got involved in buying one, but they've sent me this one to give away on the stream. It is very, very cool piece of Football Manager merch. And if you haven't already bought one, I think there's some still available via the War Child socials, or come and win one tonight over on my stream, twitch.tv/lollujo. We're trying to raise as much money as we can for War Child, who've been working with Football Manager for many, 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 many years. You'll have seen them on the load up screen for Football Manager for as long as I can remember, dating back to the 90s. War Child was on there. Come along, join in the stream, maybe win something really, really cool. I'm not going to part 155 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have two games for you, one in the Premier League, one in the Champions League. They're actually happening the other way around. The Champions League game, once again, is against Real Madrid as we try once again to beat them. We probably won't. And we're also away against Tottenham in the league in a top-of-the-table clash. As you can see, we are still top of the Premier League, 1 point clear of Spurs. We can't let Spurs be the team that takes us off the top of the league. Since you were last with me, this has been our form. We have been a little bit wobbly in the league. We lost to Villa. We got absolutely battered by Arsenal. But we have beaten Chelsea and qualified for the next round of the Champions League, albeit doing it the long way. We beat Ajax 1-0 at their place, only drew 1-1 at home to Dynamo. But that draw was enough to secure us a place in the knockout round. The only way we're going to top the group is if we go ahead of Real Madrid on the head-to-head. I think it's head-to-head before goal difference, which is just as well, because we'd need a 7-goal swing to go above them on goal difference. But on the head-to-head, they beat us 3-2 at our place earlier on in the season. So if we beat them by 2 goals at their place, which is incredibly unlikely, if we do still have a chance of topping the group. And this is going to be the team that we send to Spain to try and top the group. It's unlikely, but you never know. Part of me is thinking today's the day to try something a little bit more defensive, but it isn't. We're going to go there and do what we normally do, and one day it's going to work. So we're going with Perez in goal, a back four of Kovacic, Elias, Ercan and Primus, Perez and McKenna in midfield, Ian and Park out wide, Juan Jose and Veloso up front. You can see we've got a few unavailable players in and around the defence. Fazekas is injured, Antonio suspended, and Sir Harrison Davies, of course, not registered. Not that he'd be involved anyway, even if he was available, because, you know, he's Sir Harrison Davies. He's not really here to be playing in the Champions League for us. Primus getting the nod at right back, though, ahead of Todd Thomas. Todd Thomas has now come to me with his first complaint that he's not getting any kind of first team game time anymore, and I've kind of said to him, yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to be from now on. We've got a couple of right backs who are probably better than you defensively and still offer good oomph going forward. You know how much I love a bit of oomph. We have the first attack of the game, but Madrid immediately win it back off us. But McKenna's got it back in midfield. Juan Jose, perfect through ball to Veloso. What a pass from Juan Jose. I know there's still a few rumblings every now and again for people who don't really understand why Juan Jose gets the nod ahead of Jovanovic for these big games. That's why, because he can thread a pass through the eye of a needle. Look at this for a pass. It's taken 3 Real Madrid defenders out of the game. Perfect pass. And we're 1-0 up inside the first 2 minutes of this game. Let's look at the pass again. Look at it. He's got no right to score from there. He shouldn't be getting a shot away. There's not a chance that ball should be reaching him, but it does. Lovely stuff from Juan Jose. And he's the only player we've got at the club who can play a pass quite like that one. And for a big game against a team like this, I think that probably outweighs more I guess Jovanovic has more attacking nous about him when it comes to like scoring goals for himself or forcing chances to happen. But just for that vision and that beautiful passing, he's done it again. Juan Jose passes it through to Veloso again. They combine again. There's a reason Veloso's on 24 goals for this season. And a large part of that reason is Juan Jose alongside him. He scored a lot of goals last year with Jovanovic, but he is scoring a ridiculous number of goals this year. I feel like I should probably be having a look to see how many assists Juan Jose is on. It's probably not going to be as many as it feels like, but his passing, oh my word, his passing. And at 2-0, that should put us above them. It does. There you go. There's your confirmation that as of right now, we are top of the group. It's almost as if Real Madrid aren't that bothered, although they are playing Gregoire and Coppens. We know all about both of them. Gregoire, obviously, the former home man. Coppens, a player that has ripped us apart on multiple occasions in the past. But maybe they're just not as up for it today. We've beaten them before in the Wearmouth Cup when they've not really been that bothered, and maybe because they're already qualified, they're perhaps not that bothered today. Although I imagine their fans are not that impressed that us upstarts have come to their place and gone 2-0 up early on. So I would expect a comeback from Madrid as this game goes on. Park, that's really poor from Park. Madrid are one of the teams that are in for Park at the moment. He's being linked with Manchester United, still Norwich because of all the money, but Real Madrid, Inter, who else was in for him? I think Bayern Munich were interested as well. It's basically a who's who of where is the money in Europe. Paris Saint-Germain were linked with him as well. Interestingly, Paris Saint-Germain really going hard for Juan Jose as well. They've noticed what he offers us and have decided they want a little piece of that. So I expect Juan Jose to be the next one who has his head turned, as he is having an incredible season so far. Corner for Real, and we get the ball clear, and it's with Park, and we're trying to get a counter-attack going here. Veloso is completely unmarked and on a hat-trick in the middle, and that is cynical from Gregoire. I think there's a man covering. I don't think this is going to be a red card. It is just a yellow, but it was a very cynical tackle, and he's a lucky boy that he had a man covering him, or it could have been a red card for Gregoire there. Perez with the free kick, floating it over, looking for Park, who in the end doesn't even jump for it. But look at McKenna just charging past. I really hope that's Gregoire, because McKenna has just looked dominant in midfield there. And I think long term, maybe, I don't know, will we ever consider McKenna an upgrade over Gregoire? Certainly today he looks like he is. Long term, we'll see. Elias perfectly timing his tackle. Kovacic trying to get in with a tackle as well. Elias heads clear. Now Park to counter-attack again. Finds Juan Jose. Veloso's in space. It's another perfect through ball from Juan Jose. And it's an even more perfect finish. What a goal from Veloso. 25, 26, whatever it is for the season now. And there is a 33-minute hat-trick. And all 3 assists have come from the perfect passing of Juan Jose. If anyone's still criticising that man after this game, then you're not watching right. You got to pay closer attention. His passing is stunning. 3-0 up now as we head towards half-time. And the ridiculous dream that we had beforehand of topping the group again might actually become a reality, because that first half has been absolutely brilliant. Let's just look at Juan Jose. So he's got vision of 18. Vision of 18, passing of 16. I mean, this is why he's creating all of these chances for Veloso. Only 7 assists for the season. Although, to be fair, that's 7 assists in 17 games, 5 from 11 in the Premier League. But of course, it's now going to be 10 from 18. That's a decent number of assists, and he is getting better and better the more he plays. And he is certainly starting to get a nice little run of not only playing, but playing as the deep lying forward, which we weren't really using him as before. You can see he started the season not in the team, made his way back in, though, when he recovered from his injury. There's only been 2 times we've rested him. And just always passing. Always passing. It's beautiful. Right. What are we doing? We're taking Kovacic off because he's picked up a knock. Primus is going to go over to left back. Todd Thomas will come on for right back, and we'll go out and try and do it all again. So second half, there's your confirmation that substitution has gone through, and we've got a corner straight away. It's Perez to McKenna, and we've only got to made it 4. This is, I would like to think I know, pinch of salt, they'd already qualified. So had we, but we're obviously trying harder than them. They're not up for it at all tonight. But I would like to think we'll look back at the end of this series. This was the turning point. This is the team we couldn't beat. This is the team that knocked us out in the semi-final last year. This is the team that we couldn't get past in the group. We couldn't get past in the semi-final. They were just better than us. We played them 5 times last year, including the Wearmouth Cup, and they always looked better than us. We played them in the Wearmouth Cup again this summer because we keep practicing. This is the 8th time we've played Real Madrid in 18 months, and we're finally getting good at it seems, although Parker's now picked up an injury. That's both of the one-to-way boys have picked up injuries here, and I think we're going to bring on Kleber and stick Ian over to that right-hand side. Kleber can come on to play on the left, and McKenna has he's not picked up a knock, he's just tired, so we'll bring Diaz on for him. Normally, I'm tempted to bring Kleber back into midfield and put Perez out on the right. In fact, that is what I'm going to do. I just don't think we've got enough muscle in the midfield with Diaz and Perez in there. So if we do that, it just means we've got that dominant midfield presence that McKenna was giving us with Kleber. Veloso's made it 4. The danger now of coming to Real Madrid and scoring 4 goals is if they weren't interested in signing him before, you can be sure they want him after this, because this has been a stupendous attacking performance from Sandro Veloso. He's come to Real Madrid, he's scored 4 goals, he's got a 10 out of 10. We've won the group, and Veloso has been brilliant. Thomas now to Diaz. Cross comes in. I think Juan Jose deserves a goal. He was lurking for that one there, but he's never really been much of a finisher. He's never scored more than single figures of goals in a season for us. I doubt he ever will. That's not what he's there for. In my mind, we're playing a 4-2-3-1 and he's the attacking midfielder. It's just when you line him up like that in FM21, it doesn't work. Whereas if you line him up like this, we've got him as a deep line forward on support, so he's filling this area anyway. It just seems to work. But we've got to make sure we don't judge him on the goals that he scores. Instead, judge him on the contributions he's making to the game. And he's got an 8.2 there, 3 assists. Just a very, very good performance all round. I did not expect to be commentating on a 5-0 win in either of today's matches. Now we've just got to try and keep that momentum going into this Tottenham game so we don't give up our spot at the top of the league. Are Real Madrid now in for him? They're not. He's only just signed a new contract, which is handy after a performance like that. Heading into the January transfer window, he's just signed a new 5-year contract in November. So hopefully that will scare off any potential suitors for Veloso, who, by the way, I forgot to mention this at the start of the episode, has now become the club's all-time record goal scorer. Record previously held by Micah Beerith, who I think was on 92 goals, was Beerith's record. Sandro Veloso on 94. It's a surprisingly low number for our all-time record goal scorer to not yet have 100 goals. He obviously will, and presumably he'll stay here for a long, long time now and end up with multiple hundreds over the course of his home career. But yeah, we have finally a new all-time record goal scorer. I'm wondering if we've got anyone who might break Kieran Hodgkinson's record by the end of their career. I guess Alex Williams is someone who could have done, but now probably is quite unlikely to. I mean, Veloso himself started very young as a first-team regular. I'm looking at Elias as well. Although he's only 21, he's been a regular starter since aged 18. If he plays for the next 10 years, he's already got 100 games under his belt for us. If he plays for another 10 years, he could go past that 437 that Hodgkinson has, I think. It's probably not going to happen during the series, but it might happen in their careers when we holiday forward at the end of the save. Should we go and play Spurs? A couple of changes for the Spurs game then. Antonio's back from suspension, so he can come back into the side at right back. We've had to shuffle the midfield around a little bit because of the injury to Park. So Perez goes out onto the right wing. Diaz coming in alongside McKenna. If you're wondering why you shouldn't always trust what Quick Pick tells you to do, Quick Pick thinks we should do that with Veloso on the right wing. That's the Veloso, who's probably the best striker in the world at this point. We don't always go with what Quick Pick thinks, boys and girls. Goodness me. Right, let's get into this game. Remember how important this is. It is a top-of-the-table clash. We need to, at the very least, avoid defeat to avoid Tottenham going above us. In fact, Manchester United have jumped up above us because we're playing on the Sunday. They presumably played on the Saturday. So we actually need a win to maintain our spot at the top of the league, or just the draw to make sure we stay above Tottenham, which I'm not sure which one of those two is more important, really. Probably being top of the league, but it's always nice to make sure that you're top of Tottenham, above Tottenham. Right, Kovacic with the throw to Ian, who does really well to create a huge amount of space for him. I mean, I was waiting for him to pull the trigger. Why is he not just having a shot there a little bit earlier? He did so well to create himself so much space. He should just fire that into the top corner. He kept hold of it for far too long and then basically passed it to the goalkeeper. He did everything right. And then it's like he wasn't expecting it to work and didn't really know what to do with it then. Erkan is in from the free kick from Perez. And that is a first goal of the season for Erkan and a first goal for the afternoon for home. 1-0 to us. The Spurs fans look distraught. I mean, not that you can tell from this distance, but I assume they look distraught. It's a lovely finish from Erkan, actually. He does very well to slip away from his man at that far post, put us ahead, and as it stands, put us back to the top of the Premier League, which is exactly where we want to be. Right, Tottenham with the goal kick, aiming down this left-hand side of ours where Kovacic should have dealt with it, doesn't, but luckily Perez in goal does deal with it. And I thought we were going to get an immediate counter-attack. That was a weird highlight to show us. There wasn't really anything to it. Antonio then with the throw evades the first man on the way into the penalty area. It's cleared to their striker. He actually beat Erkan initially, and then it looked like his leg fell off or something, and he just sat down. He's now got back up again, but we've got the ball back. McKenna trying to do a Juan Jose and slot it through to Veloso. He's not quite got the passing ability of Jose. But it's a nice idea, and he'll get there. He's still young. Ian then, on the left again, finds McKenna, back to Ian. We've got Diaz, who's dropped into this little pocket of space behind the midfield, but Ian's decided to dance into the middle again, because apparently he's not getting any kind of challenge from the Spurs right back today. But once again, once he's danced into the middle, he doesn't seem to really know what to do with it. I've got him playing as an inverted winger rather than an inside forward to try and stop him from doing that, because he's not very good at doing it. I want him to be cutting inside and crossing, but for whatever reason, he's decided he's playing as an inside forward, even though that's not what he's being asked to do. Right, Perez with a free kick. It's lovely range, and it's a lovely goal for Diego Perez to put us 2-0 up. Playing on the right wing today for the first time in a long time, at least from the start of a match, giving him a little bit of freedom. And what a goal it is, up into that top corner. Lovely stuff. 2-0 up, and we are looking very good. That guy who sat down before does look like he's now carrying an injury, but he's not had to go off. It's weird. The way he pulled up as he was almost through on goal and just sat down. I thought that was the game over for him, but he is still continuing at the moment. Jose playing it forward to Ian. Back to McKenna. McKenna shooting from range. What a goal from McKenna. That is a beauty. It's 2 goals in a minute for us. David McKenna has just scored an absolute worldie. Scotland have got a very good midfielder on their hands there. Juan Jose playing it forward to, I think it was a 1-2 with Ian, wasn't it? And then Jose, in fact, it doesn't go back to Jose. It's Ian who plays it into McKenna, who's hit that, looks like with the outside of his boot, and curled it back in towards the goal as it kind of dips over the goalkeeper as well. It's beautiful technique, and a 3rd goal for us. And I mean, we've shown in 2 difficult away matches here today just how good a side we're becoming. I know there's been some concern that we can't just keep going away from home and attacking the way we do. And I've been saying all along, eventually we'll get to the point where we're so good we can. Maybe we're finally hitting that point. No Kleber to bring on today because he's suspended, and we are going to make a few changes though. Francisco's going to come on for Veloso. That will do for now. We've taken McKenna off in midfield as well. Jovanovic playing another game in that central midfield spot as we try and train him into being able to play there purely because of his size and his physical ability. We want a big, strong midfielder in there at all times. And if it can't be McKenna and it can't be Kleber, the only other guy at the club really who fits the bill of big, strong boy is Jovanovic. So he just needs to learn to play central midfield. And I mean, we're teaching him in a top of the table clash away from home, which is, I mean, that's how good we're getting. That's lovely work from Francisco, playing out to players. Francisco's become a bit of a forgotten man for a guy who was our top scorer 3 or 4 years ago when he was still a teenager. And he's always looks good when he's in the team, but he can't play with Veloso because they're too similar. And he's certainly not going to play instead of Veloso. But whenever we do play him, he always looks like a threat. And he looked very good again there. Although Spurs do have a goal back, and this might be where I regret making the changes I've done so early, taking off 2 of the best young players in the universe, and bringing on a guy who's not really played much in the last 3 years and an experiment. Perez is tiring. Sydney can come on that right-hand side. Sydney would have started if it wasn't for the fact that he was recovering from injury himself and wasn't fit to play. I think he was fit to play 30 minutes. So he'll come on and have 15, and hopefully that'll help with his recovery from injury. And we should have a fully fit Sydney back, which we're going to need if Park's going to be injured for a game or two, because we need Sydney to come back in on that right-hand side, because as much as Perez looks good on that right wing, Perez is he's a key element in our central midfield. He's our captain. He's the vice captain, but obviously Williams never plays, so Perez is effectively the captain. He's team captain to Alex Williams' club captain. And we want him in the middle of the pitch. I like to have my captain centre-back or central midfield so they can actually properly lead the team. I don't think you can really lead the team from out on the wing or up front or even in goal. Don't tell Alex Williams. But that is 2 big wins for us today. We are still top of the Premier League as we're almost at the halfway point of the season. We've got to be in with a chance of winning this year. That is our main goal for this season. Win the Premier League. If we go deep in the Champions League as well, fantastic. But we want a Premier League win, and we are getting closer and closer to being able to push on for that. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. Thank you very much for watching.